Welcome back. This is the fifth and final video in our series on how to value a business. We've covered a lot in the first four videos. What a business must do for its owner, the buyer. How to calculate what your business really makes. How to apply multiples to that number. And even several additional methods that we use to value businesses and that many buyers use. So now it's time to pull it all together and show you how we actually use these methods to arrive at a justifiable estimate of value. So let's quickly recap. First, we defined what a business has to do for its owners. At a minimum, it has to provide income and return on investment that makes sense and makes ownership worthwhile. Second, we figured out how to tell what your business really makes, your discretionary earnings. This is the foundation of business valuation. Third, we talked about multiples, how to find them, how to apply them. The multiple of discretionary earnings is the most common and most meaningful and most reliable measure of a business's value, and buyers use that to value their business, any business that they buy. And fourth, we reviewed several additional methods that we use on every valuation we do. And many buyers use those additional methods as well. Multiples of revenue, capitalization of earnings, and debt coverage. All are key metrics of value. We briefly discussed how to use these other methods significantly, how using these other methods significantly increases your ability to defend and justify the price or your final number of value, and ultimately the price that you ask for the business. So how do we use all this information? Well, we don't just pick a number out of a hat, whichever the biggest number is, we choose that one. No. Instead, we give each method, each result, a weight, a percentage of 100, based on how meaningful that measure is and how much important it is to the buyer. So we give the highest weight to the multiple of earnings approach. This method is grounded in what buyers are actually buying, the business's earnings. It ties directly back into what they care about the most. How much will this business put in my pocket? In almost all cases, we give this result at least a 50 weight out of 100. Next up, we give the weight to multiples of revenue. Now, this is less precise, but it's still useful as a confirmation of our approach to value is consistent with what the market is telling us, what previous buyers have paid for similar businesses. We have to remember that, and our clients have to remember, and you have to remember, there's competition. Buyers aren't stuck with just your business to buy. If you've got a lawn care contractor, a small manufacturer, a refrigeration company, there are similar businesses in the market right now that buyers can go and buy. We have to be competitive with those businesses. And the competition comes from multiples. That's the key. The lowest weight we give is to what we classify as the other methods. In this case, we talked about two. One was the capitalization of earnings. The other one was debt coverage. Capitalization of earnings gives us the ability to show a buyer what their return on their investment is going to be. The debt coverage method shows the buyer that the business will generate enough capital not only to pay them and give them a return on investment, but to pay off the note that they used to acquire the business. In short, we can show that the business pays for itself. By combining these methods and using the right weighting, we arrive at a valuation that's not only realistic but defensible. This is key. Defensible. A buyer can see how we got there. A lender can see that the numbers work. And you, as the owner, you can be confident you understand how the market is going to judge your business. There are somewhat esoteric methods of valuation that we employ, but The ones that we discussed in this series are the ones that we use as the basis of our valuation process all the time. One of those other methods is how do we calculate the value of future earnings? But that's a little bit out of the realm of this series, but we're going to dedicate a spotlight to it sometime in the next couple of weeks. So subscribe so that you don't miss it. Now, one final note here. In the 25 years that we've been valuing businesses and assisting sellers in marketing and selling their business, no one, no buyer, no seller, no lender, no attorney, no accountant, no one has ever questioned our results. Now, we have had sellers say, well, I want more than that. We've also had buyers that say, I'm not going to pay that much. But no one has ever argued with our result. And we put the result and we put the methods out there. We justify what we're looking for when we represent a business. And so if you follow the steps outlined in this series, you'll have a pretty good sense of how the market will look at your business, and you'll have a very strong sense that your position is correct when it comes to talking to buyers and lenders, that your numbers are right. And by the way, if you need help, we can help you with it. You can join the Brokers Roundtable, where there's experts, plenty of experts, that have sold business as brokers, financed businesses as lenders, appraised businesses as valuators. Plenty of experts in there that you would have access to. We also offer a one-on-one coaching program. And if you'd rather do a deep dive, maybe you're a real estate agent and want to add business brokerage to your practice, we have courses, a series of courses on how to value, market, negotiate, and sell businesses. Links to all of these resources are in the description. So that wraps up our 5-part series on how to value a business. If you followed along, you now know what your business has to deliver to a buyer. You now know how to calculate your true earnings. What does your business really earn? Not the taxable income and not the bottom line on the P&L. You know what other methods can tell you. You know how multiples work and where to find them. And finally, how all of this comes together in a comprehensive estimate of value, of defensible value. In the next video, we'll tell you how to price your business. If you've gone through all these steps and you get a number or a range of number that looks pretty solid, you don't want to go to market with that number. We'll tell you how to price the business in the next video. But if you found this series helpful, subscribe for more content, because in future videos, we'll show you how to increase the value of your business so that when the time comes to sell, you'll have the best chance of getting the highest value for the work that you've put in. So, thanks for watching again. I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you regularly in our channel.